Hello, this is Victor and here with a new video, and this time I want to talk what is the point of the books in Age of Sigmar. Are they worth it? No. Are they needed for the game? And what are they adding? What is the add value of these books in Age of Sigmar? As we all know, we can play Age of Sigmar without any books. Indeed, the rules are just 4 pages that can be downloaded from the website of Games Workshop, and it's quite easy to have the 4 pages. And then all the war scrolls, all the miniatures have the war scroll within the miniature when you buy the miniature, or you can download them from the also from the website of Games Workshop. So what are these books? What is the add value of these books? What they can add to you? What is the benefit of having these books? This is what I want to talk after reading them. If you want to see a review of any individual book, I did reviews. You can find them on my channel. If you don't find them, just give me a message and I will find it for you. But any book that I have, I review it in my channel. But now what I want to talk with you after reading that and after going through them is just explain what you can find in these books in more detail, or what is the benefit of that books. And I will say that I will classify the books in 3 types. So I will put one type are these ones, okay? I will put here are the ones from the ones dedicated to the Realm Gate Wars, okay? These 2, but I will also include this one in this description. That is the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, the first book that they just launched just after launching the starter set. Then we have the books that are the compendiums. Now I have 3, I'm waiting for the destruction. We have 1 for each faction so far. These are the compendiums of the war scrolls. And then we have what is called the battle tomes, okay? We have battle tomes for small factions. So far I'm missing Seraphon and the Orcs, but they have launched some of them. And they also have this one that is quite specific, that is the Chaos Dreadhorde. So I read all of them so far. The only one I'm missing from my collection to read is the Plaguescaven, but I want to explain what you can find in these books and what I consider what they add to your game. So why you would like to have or not these books. The first ones I will talk is the compendiums. These are the what is called Grand Alliance. These are the Grand Alliance Order. We have Death and Chaos, and Destruction is just launched, is now ready. So what you can find in these books, this is just a compendium of all the war scrolls. You don't need this book to be fair to play, but it's very useful and it's very affordable. These books are very affordable. I think they are really worth it because you have, if you really want to go into order, you have all the war scrolls that they want to promote here, okay? And on top, you have also war scroll battalions inside. You have several of them, so you have some of them, I would say. And for me, what is great of this book is that you can have overview of all the different factions. You have overview of all the different factions in each Grand Alliance. You have all the different factions for Death. This is the thinner one so far. You have all the factions for Chaos. And it's a book that for me it's helping in my inspiration. You see how it's subdivided, and then it can help you in the organization of the army. It's easier to look here how Games Workshop is organizing the different factions, how Games Workshop is organizing the different war scrolls. It's much easier to see that in that book than on the website or on the apps. And I think they are really worth it. They are pretty cheap compared to all other books, are quite affordable, and I think is worth the investment for them. So, and on top you have very little, a little bit of background, but ideally the use of these books, I will say, if you have to put one use to these books, is a compendium of war scrolls. And if you are adopt into one of these different factions, is a way to have all the main war scrolls, all the miniatures here. It's like how I would say, a catalog where you can anytime look at this and see the what is there, and then help you to organize your army and to organize your future purchasings in that armies. So I think it's really worth it to have it, and I think it's almost a must. If you play Order, it's a must to have the Order, and it's very nice to have the other factions that you don't play, and this is why I'm collecting them all. Then I will go to these ones, okay? These ones are the Realm Gate Wars and the basic book. I put this because all these books are following the same structure. So you have, except the basic rule set, or we'll say the Warhammer, that all have a long intro about how the world is created. But after that, it's for all of them are following the same structure, and you need this one if you want to read the history. For me, what is great of this is you have the history on how the Realm Gate wars are proceeding. You have here all the evolution, all the chronology of the world. If you want to go into fluff, this is a very nice to have, because then you have all the fluff here, and you can go really into the fluff of how the war between the Stormcast, Chaos, and then how the other factions that are appearing. Because in this last book, we still having more factions. We start having also the Fire Slayers. So we see how the different factions are interacting between them. How Sigmar is trying to make alliances with Giran, the guys of the creators of Giran, and how they try to make alliances with the Fire Slayers. So it's top view of the different scenarios of different war, and on top of that, you have a lot of scenarios to recreate, to make this war, to try to simulate these different battles in your in your games. So it's not a must, but if you really like the fluff, and if you want to know how the world is evolving, these books have a lot of information on that aspect. These books have a lot of information how the war is evolving. This one have how the world is created, why there is this war between Chaos and Sigmar. Here we have the evolution of the war in that one, so really this is the evolution of the war. And here we have how here we have how Archon is intervening in the war, and how all what is the evolution. So, and I'm looking to have the God Beast, that is the next one, to keep reading. I really like some of the points. I will try not to explain anything, because I don't want to do. I don't want to how it's called this. I don't want to explain the end of the book. I don't want to spam anything from this book. So I just say, if you like the fluff, if you like to read the history, these books are just for that. The war scrolls at the end, you really don't need this book for the war scrolls in the end. There is also, normally we also find some battalions, war scroll battalions at the end, but really you don't. There are only 4, 5, 6. These books are not for the war scrolls. These books are to read the fluff and to have scenarios, to do campaigns, and to try to make it on your table, try to create on your table what is happening, what evolution of the war, how all the different armies are evolving. And then we have all these, okay, I have these ones, these are the battle tomes, and this is really go in depth into the fluff of these small factions. So there is a lot of detail about the different faction. There is a lot of detail about the faction. You have a lot of inspiring battles, inspiring descriptions, and then you have more in depth how what is the purpose of each unit. So they are explaining quite in depth each different unit. What I will say, these books, I buy them because I like the reading. It's if you like the fluff, but mainly if you are a lot into one of these factions, it's highly recommended because it's a great inspiration for me. I find them as a great inspiration to make your army, to create, to put more deep depth into your army. So I read the one from Storkas Eternals. I really enjoy it. I read the one that is the Extremis, okay, the Stormcast Extremis. Here I was, just as I mentioned, the God Wars are mentioned here, the God Beasts, sorry, are mentioned in that book. So the reason that the Extremis is created is to have something to counteract the chaos, but then they have to accelerate the process because they know that the Archon wants to corrupt the God Beasts. And then you have I have four different them. I really enjoy it, but it's just if you want to go into the detail. Again, you don't need this book for the War Scrolls at the end. You will have always. What is interesting is that you at the end you always find War Scrolls battalions that try to. You see normally these armies. Let me show you just in that case. Normally these armies have some organization charts, okay, charts. And at the end you have the battalions to simulate these organization charts. I will go for this as the one I'm reading now. So let me go for one that I really know because I read it just recently. Okay, so here they explain how the extremist chamber is organized, what are the battles that they intervene, how it's really the main character. So it's really about fluff and about going in depth into the formation. Okay, see here you have the organization chart of the army. You have the different subdivisions. So you have the Dragsron Temple, Draconian Guard, and then it's divided in the Lightning Echelion and the Thunderwave Echelion. And they explain you why this division. But what is interesting is at the end of the book, normally you have the same subdivisions. So you have the battalions, and then the battalions you have the temple, okay, temple, sorry, the Dragsworn Temple, those are the Templars, and then we have the Lightning Echelion and the Thunder Wave Echelion here, okay, see, and you have the Extremist Chamber, if you want to organize the Extremist Chamber. So it's very fluff oriented. It's like going depth into your faction. So, for example, if you are very into corn, I highly recommend to have the corn, because then you have a lot of fluff to help you to understand how corn is organized. To give, and for me, this is I like, because it's helping me on how to paint and how to create the fluff for my army. So I really enjoy to read this. For me, it's like a reading. But of course, these books are not needed to play. If I will put importance on the books, I will say the most important ones to have are these ones, the soft covers, the compendiums, and these are quite affordable. If you like fluff and you want to know the history, these ones, okay, because then you have the campaigns. And if you are very interested in one of the factions, take your faction book. This is mainly to go in depth. And I will say these two books, the hardcovers, are more for fluff than for rules, and these are more for the rules than for the fluff. And to have, because I like more the paper support than the apps when I go to play, and I like to have this next to me. And that's all for now. This is what I want to share. I hope you find this interesting. I just wanted to explain what is the need of books in Age of Sigmar, and summarizing, there is not a need really, but they add more to your game, and all depends how deep you want to go in fluff, and if you like or not the digital formats. So, and for now that's all. I will say that, yeah. Please comment, like if you like it. Let me know what do you think. If you have these books, let me know if you like them, don't like them. And yeah, for now that's all. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.